Let's do it.
You got to point to me. Gibby, when is the last time your New Richmond Tigers have been undefeated going into the last game of the year?
You know, Scrib, there's not a lot of questions you can
It
ask
doesn't
me.
matter because we're about to have it.
Live from the Justin Livestream Network studios, Scrib and Gib.
I wasn't going to let him answer that, Moose. You know what I mean?
I love
But
it.
it was actually last year, bud. Last year we were at 8-0. We had the big matchup coming in at Tiger Stadium against Hudson. Obviously, the weather turned crappy. And then the game didn't turn out very good. But this year, a little bit different story.
Yep.
Looks like the weather is going to be fairly good on Friday.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be beautiful.
And we
we are up there.
No,
so.
hold on. And we are fortunate, and I mean fortunate, to have a wonderful drive through the beautiful forest all the way up to Superior, Wisconsin. Are you excited?
I am so pumped up. I mean, I truly am, but I do have to look at the weather just now that you brought that up.
It's supposed
Bring
to be
it
nice.
up right now, guys.
Yeah, it's supposed to be nice. It's supposed to be very similar to last.
I got Friday a high of 69 degrees, a low of 49.
In Souptown?
Ooh, I suppose. Sorry.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be gorgeous around here. My point is we're in Superior, Wisconsin,
Superior,
through Sherwood
Wisconsin. Here we
Forest.
go.
High of
Friday,
67.
High of 67, a low of 49. Jeepers. Can
Well,
you just calm down?
I'll take
Yeah.
that, though.
Yeah.
I would take that in Souptown. And
Yeah.
How about the wind? The wind not too bad?
92 miles an hour.
Yeah, probably.
No, but that stadium.
Whoa, actually, this is for Friday, you guys. Average wind 13, max gust 28.
Could be a little breezy.
Yeah, that's fine. It'll be.
Yeah.
But
Do
we'll
we have
be
a
nice
running game?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. That's right.
It'll be nice and warm where we're at, so it's
Yeah,
okay.
it is.
But hey, I mean, there it is, right? So we get that scenic drive up to northern Wisconsin. We're excited. Tigers victorious last week at home against Wisconsin Rapids. We had one heck of a game. Our producer was spot on. Oh, that's right. You weren't there, Moose. But what a fun game.
That's okay.
We tried to call you later that night, but you didn't answer.
Some of us were trying to sleep because I had to work the next day.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's just get right into it.
Yeah.
It was a fabulous game, right?
It was. I mean, it was. The Tigers. It was obviously a very dominating performance out of the Tigers, but it's fun. I mean, it's been a long
Dominant
time.
position.
Oh.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dominant position.
we had that.
Dominant position.
But I tell
Dominant
you,
position.
Sorry.
no, that's all right. No, it was fun. I mean, it was one of those games where we came through a gauntlet, and we needed a game like that.
Yeah. And we had talked about it a little bit, like, is it good that we went through the gauntlet and then have these two to maybe just take a breath, or is it better just to be playing and just go into the playoffs, playing tough competition strong? Like, I don't know. I don't have an answer. I think, the key thing we had talked about was let's get the victory.
Yep.
Let's get out of this thing healthy, which I feel like we did. But it's weird, right? Because the game was. We talked about it in the pregame. We talked about it throughout the game. Let's take care of business.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, that's what we needed to do was take care of business, and we did that. But it was a weird game, just not much flow. Like, I mean, at one time we had like 3 plays and 3 touchdowns or something. It was crazy.
And the craziest thing for me that was when it would be 3rd and 10, and they ran the ball up the middle. I was like, gosh, are they just trying to get this thing? Are they just trying to get the bus started and get on the road back to Rapids or what? That was a little odd for me, but
I feel like that's kind of what they wanted to do. I mean, it's just one of those things that you could tell they were. I mean, they came out. They're big, right? They had some big
they
guys
were big
out
kids,
there.
yeah.
But I remember looking over when we were getting ready for the starting lineups and national anthem. It's like, Gibby, look at our players. How many we have, and look at how many they had. Like we were double. It was like we got our 75, 80, whatever it is on sophomores and up, and they probably had 40.
Right.
And that is like that's where New Richmond football has become. Right?
Yeah, and let's not take anything away from the kids, right? They had to go out there and they still had to perform. I mean, Nick Stelreich, 5 touchdowns. Talked a lot about that over the weekend. I had some events that were going on. And they're like, when's the last time a quarterback threw for 5 touchdowns? And no one could remember. I mean, that's impressive, right?
Well,
and
8
even
in 2
Eckert-
weeks. 8 in 2 weeks.
8 in 2 weeks, and then Aiden Eckert catching 3 touchdowns. I mean, that in itself is a feat. So, Joey Hepner had close to 100 yards, but he had 90 yards, I believe, something like that, wasn't it? With the
12
12 for 90.
carries. Yep.
So, yeah, it was just a great overall on defense. Absolute dogs again. Didn't allow a point, obviously. So it's stepping up, and it'd be great to do it again this weekend or this Friday night versus Superior, and just try to go into the playoffs healthy. I'm not afraid, honestly, of us, facing another team like Superior that's probably not as dominant as some of the competition that we faced throughout the year, because I do think being healthy, going into the playoffs, Reggie's going to have these guys ready. I'm really, we've talked about a lot, Scrib, about how such a stoic group that they are, and they're just kind of focused. They're not real rah-rah guys. They don't really get up too high or too low. So I think we'll be fine. Just make sure we can get through this stuff healthy.
Yeah, I tried to talk to my son about the game again and got the normal 3 words, maybe. I don't know. I'm just like, all right, it's fine. I get it. But I think you're right. Like, these guys are, and it all goes back to Coach Reggie Larson, right? He's got them dialed in. He's pounded into head. It's game 1, right? And I remember running into him a couple weeks ago, and he's like, hey, there's only so many games guaranteed. Like, he's telling them there's only 2 games guaranteed left.
Right.
This coming weekend and the first playoff game. Nothing's guaranteed after that first playoff game, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the mentality these guys have been playing with all year. And we talk about, I'm probably a broken record here on Nick Stelright, but the progression from week 1 to the last week has just been fabulous. He just, the last 2 games have been phenomenal, where he's putting some of those balls where nobody else can catch him except his own receivers. Eckert's playing at a high level. Everybody's catching balls.
Eckert, 3 catches, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's decent.
I know, and I think just, again, the running game is looking good. You had Ethan Ponick get on the scoreboard with a nice catch and buzzed it. Max Kardovics was a highlight. That dive into the
that
end
was a
zone.
Guys,
great
that catch
catch.
was amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, did you watch it online at Justin Livestream?
I may have found the link. Yes.
Yeah, that was good. We saw that, like me and Gibby called it, obviously, and we saw it in there, and it's like, he's going to have to go get that one, and he laid out, and it was just a dandy, and it's exciting to see that, right? Everybody's just having fun out there, playing well, so it's good. And then we got, part of Gibby's favorite part of the game, right? The fourth quarter, we started to get in the young guys. You had, Ponick scored off the ground, on the ground, and then Braden Yeski came in.
Yeah, 67
He's
yards.
been up in the booth a few times with us when we've had to share with our own coaches, right? And up there film, and you guys were like, who's that guy? I'm like, well, he's been there. And then 1 carry, 67 yards.
Yeah.
That was fun to see.
Nice.
And the other kids, too, that stepped up, I mean, on the defensive side, Jamison Unger, the unguided missile, led the team in total tackles, I believe, with 8. But Brett Andrews got on there. I remember I've seen Brett quite a few times in the summer, and good kid, but 5 tackles, total of 6. So that's great. When kids can get in there and finally, they put their time in and practice, they did a really, and reading this tackle chart, I mean, I couldn't even read all the guys off because so many people got in, but I was proud of them and their performance for sure.
Yeah, and another one that we talked about, too, is the quarterback did not go that one way for that option.
No, he did not.
Oh, he didn't?
Oh, he met somebody. He met a rock. And let's just say the rock won.
Yeah, if he had any fillings, I don't think they were in after that hit. That was a bbig hit. He did not run that play again.
And I talked to Dennis at church yesterday. I'm like, Dennis, I noticed the quarterback really never came that way. He goes, yeah, I really wasn't having a good game, I didn't feel. And I'll be honest, he goes, I can't remember how he said, but he's like, basically, I didn't see him coming, because he was coming around, and then they met, but he's like, yeah, I didn't run that way. I'm like, yeah, I know, we noticed. And I don't know if it was by design, right? But Dennis, he clearly stated he knew that he hit him good.
Oh, yeah, he did.
So, yeah, one of those things. So now it's all about the second game, right? The second game in a row of this a different part of the schedule, right? And you got to finish strong, right? You got to finish strong. You got to get out of it healthy. That's key, right? We know that, Moose, right? You got to be able to come home healthy from up there. But at the end of the day, we could be sitting here next week talking about Big River champions, undefeated Big River champions. We're not going to call it before it happens, but I'm going to lean towards it. I can tell you that.
Yep. All right. Well, it looks like we're ready for scores already.
Is it prediction time? I mean,
It's already prediction time. I think there's not
no, there's not much more to talk about. I mean, it
let's
was.
just go finish it. Just go finish it.
Oh,
So
we do got to have the Vital System stat player of the game.
Yes.
Who do you got this week?
I got to go with Nick. It's not very often, like I said, that a quarterback at the high school level or any level for that matter can throw 5 touchdowns. But Nick was 8 for 11, 211 yards and 5 touchdowns. So that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I'll echo that. No argument there. He is playing fantastic, and just when we need it to be too.
Yep.
Heading into playoffs, that's what we want to see. So having a great year for sure. He's got 16 touchdowns, over 1,300 yards already. So
Yeah, and I'd love to see, really love to see Heppy get 1,000. I believe he's at 857 or something like that.
something like that. So he's getting there. I mean, to me, I would expect him.
He just needs to bust one. He's been
Yeah,
so close. He almost had one the other night too.
Yeah.
It was like one guy to beat. Maybe they tripped him up or something. But there's going to be a big one for Joey on Friday night. So
857. So
there we go. I was right. All right.
all right. Hey, what do you got over there, Moose? You're the guy over there. What do you got for the predictions this week up in beautiful Superior, Wisconsin? Remember that road trip? It's beautiful.
It's a long one. What's Superior's record?
0-8.
I don't think we can roll like we did last week, just because I think they're still a big Rivers team. We want to give them some little bit of props. I think we're going to have a garbage touchdown at the end for 7.
Okay.
I should say garbage, not what I meant. But just we're going to go up. It's going to be 42-7.
Okay.
What do you got there, Gibby?
I'm going to go 40. I think they could possibly put one in.
I think that in the second half.
Yeah, it'll be
We're
late.
going to have some JV.
Yeah, it'll be late. It'll be late. And that's the thing too. Like some of these teams, we were talking about this with Rapids. Like we start putting in. I think every person played in that game on Friday night.
As a sophomore.
As there was a freshman, I think that had played. I believe Gretzlock played.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he played.
Oh.
I think it was one play and they scored a touchdown or something like that. Yeah,
Awesome.
but some of these teams they don't have the depth, so there might be seniors still they have to keep in the game. So yeah, long story for my score, but I'm gonna go 48-6.
48-6, huh? I'm going to go a little bit different. I'm going to go 34-7. Running clock early.
All right.
Well, actually, hold on.
Yeah, they can.
30. I'm going to go 37. 37-7.
All
We're
right.
going to miss an extra point because of the 20-mile-an-hour wind, kick a field goal.
All right.
37-7. All right, what do you got on some other sports this week? Got anything exciting over there, Gibby?
Nothing exciting. The Tigers fell in volleyball to the Hudson Raiders. Hudson's got a good team. They have 2 girls that are going D1. But I just don't feel like the Tigers played up to what we had been. I was thinking about this, and I just mentioned it on the ride home. I said I think that was more mental than physical. They beat us maybe 25-12 or something, 25-13. I mean, it wasn't close. There was times where we were up by 5 or 6, and then just couldn't get it done. So they did beat us in 3. But yeah, I just again think more mental than physical. I think the Tigers are on their way to much improvement. But there's some pain that you got to go through first before you
We
get
had
there.
to take a step in the right direction first.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
I mean, that's.
100%.
I think we stepped that way.
But outside of that, I'm not sure.
I know
I knew the
sectionals for golf are done, and
Yep.
so Sam Holly, I think it is, right?
Yep.
So she made it to sectionals but did not advance. Tennis is starting to wind down. I was just looking at cross country. I would think cross country conference has to be coming up soon. I don't know, so we'll have to kind of watch for that. I know last year we started following that with Mara Benedict. So
Yep.
I'm looking here, cross country. No,
We'll
I'm
keep
just-
our eye on that.
yeah, I'm just trying to look over cross country. It's middle school tomorrow. I know that because Graceland's running, but we'll figure it out and we'll be a little more prepared next week.
Yeah.
So, all right, but let's talk some real sports this week because we have to. We have to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Did the Badgers covered, right?
The Badgers
Because
covered.
this is 2 weeks in a row that let's just be honest.
Well, that's
I was trying to get at, kind of rip on them a little bit, but I don't even want to do that today. But yeah, the Badgers have scored like 90-some points in the last 2 weeks. First time they've scored that many back-to-back weeks since like ages.
right.
It's the first time they scored over 50, I know, since COVID or something was 2 weeks ago, Kind of
Yeah,
some
we're getting
crazy stats. What I'm liking is we're starting to see some I said it last week, continuity offense. Just the flow of the offensive game
Yeah.
has changed, Gibby.
Yeah, we're finding an identity finally. We're the tight ends are being brought back in. That's our running backs are studs.
Well, Walker?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's a stud.
he's looking good. And then Dupree, the freshman. You're starting to see some, and I just feel like the offense is being opened up. They're not so worried about just going all of a sudden going all out air raid, like
Right.
where it's and tempo. They're starting to mix, which seems like it's weird that they're starting to mix tempo and the run game together, which we had talked about for 2 years now. Like that's what we expected.
Right.
So I'm not sure why you're seeing that, but it's fun. And now the defense is starting to play. The defense did great last
Yeah, they
week.
did.
That,
They did
that was
unbelievable.
ridiculous. But it's fun. So again, we got another good game this week down in Northwestern on that 2-year that field that's just there for 2 years, right
Yeah.
on the water. That is beautiful.
It is a beautiful stadium.
It's
It's
a
tiny,
sh-
isn't it?
yeah, it's
it
not
is
very
tiny.
big. Well, they don't fill the stadiums that much.
But it's
Not when Wisconsin goes
It's-
there.
Wow.
picture Westgate. It's just beautiful, man. It's cool with the big lake behind. It's scenic for sure. So that'll be fun. It's gonna be a tough one though. I mean, Northwestern tradition has always played Wisconsin tough, specifically down in Northwestern.
do.
That team is tough every time we play them.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but I'm excited to see. I feel like that they're just playing so much better,
Mhm.
and it's fun. I mean, I almost. So we'll be see hopefully that and a couple good college games this
Well, that's
weekend.
what I was gonna say. We're hopefully get another episode of Parrots Picks on here
Yeah,
this
that'll
week.
be,
we got,
I
I
we
might
got
Thursday
have to
pro-
take the old Gophers after.
Oh, you're sold on them, huh? PJ?
Well, we
Oh my
used
God.
to talk to him. I don't know what happened, but
But I tell you what, we'll talk more about the games later. But that Texas Georgia game is going to be a very, very, very good
Yeah,
game.
I went back and listened to your Parrots picks. So just if anybody is questioning, Gibby was 1 for 2. We all were like 1 for 2.
Yep.
But somebody's down a lot of money. We'll get that on Parrots pick. But what I loved about listening back is the Red River rivalry. I want to take Oklahoma. They're just a good team here, Scrub. Let me tell you, I think it's going to be a close one. Yeah, it was close.
For the first minute.
Yeah. Boy.
kind of like the
I
Iowa
could.
game.
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
Iowa,
Washington.
Washington.
Washington's the dog.
Guys, go back and listen to our Parrots picks and just
Yeah.
listen to Gibby talk. I even had to I was looking at the games last night and I was like,
I couldn't believe.
I'm pretty sure he picked Washington,
Dog.
and I didn't
they're
know
the
Iowa
dog.
could score 40 points. But we'll get into that more. We like dogging on Gibby is what we like to do.
Oh, it's a lot of dogging on Gibby.
it. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
he's not much to say over there. He's
I'll come back. I got plenty of money left on my Parrots moose money.
What I like
Who's
about
money?
It's a-
Listen
it's
into
a-
the Parrots pick. We'll
Hey,
have one
It
next
is.
this week too.
It's a
everybody.
marathon, not a sprint.
what I liked when he came in here. I put 500 on Wisconsin.
I thought I did.
Just trying for excuses. But let's get into your team here, Moose, because we got to talk about them. How did your Vikings do this week?
They didn't play.
No.
I'm impressed, Moose.
Hey,
Because if you would have said
my
I didn't know because I
interest-
couldn't watch.
My interest is slowly going up, as you can tell, because I knew they didn't play.
Well, who
oh
won then?
gosh.
Well, they didn't
Bye.
lose. They didn't lose.
BYE.
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 Oh, that's right. We got to get. Yeah, that's. I forgot about that. PJ Fleck, BYE.
Yeah.
But what about your team? The
They
Green
look
Bay
good.
Packers. They
Yeah,
look
they look
good,
good.
again.
They
the
did look really.
defense?
Cardinals are a good team. They're a good team. I know they lost Harrison Jr. In the game, so I understand. But man, there was a point in time we should have really some penalties kind of cost us. Wasn't it a punt return or something that we had fumbled? I can't remember.
All
but-
I know is every time I looked up, we were getting a different fumble.
Yeah, I know. It
I
was
know, it was
unbelievable.
crazy, so
and
it was fun.
penalties too. They had to have 15 penalties that game. It was
Yeah, they
unreal.
did. They had a ton.
But
They had a
anyhow,
ton.
yeah, the Packers did well. Romeo Dobbs were back in the action and a couple touchdowns, and was
Imagine
good.
that. You suspend a guy, and then he comes back and plays well.
yeah.
Huh.
Hmm.
Just like a kid.
Ah, you got a story over there? Remember, this is life, family, and
In
sports.
sports.
No, but it's like parenting. You discipline your kid for being stupid, and guess what? They start behaving again.
Yeah.
I don't know. We discipline Scribner. That's
Right.
No. Well, on a little bit on life, family, and sports, because you're going to have to listen to another podcast later this week. We have an awesome guest this week.
Opportunity is amazing.
This guest is Mr. John Creasel, motivational speaker, a veteran from Minnesota. We're going to be interviewing him. I'm excited. I've listened to him on Power Trip before and stuff, so I know a little bit about him, but I'm excited to have him on. It's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's what's nice about it is finally I have somebody intelligent to talk to.
We don't take any offense to that whatsoever, do we, Moose?
But I want to
Not
get.
at all. I like having conversations with you, Gibby.
I know, right?
But I have another fun fact. So I was up at my in-laws yesterday. My father-in-law finally cooked me some food. He had some
Bear?
No, he did not bear. He had grouse and fish, partridge. So it was really, really good. But I was talking to my brother-in-law. He's a farmer up there on French Hugh Farms. Let me tell you, did I have some good time? I'm like, Greg, we should have you on the podcast. Can you imagine Greg and Moose talking farm? And I explained to him how we like to drive around the countryside, look at the corn, how we like to talk about snow melting. And he agreed. He said that is all critical aspects of being a farmer. So,
Did he actually say that?
yes. Why would I lie to you? So I think it's an opportunity as we get into more, not always talking about Tiger sports. We can talk life, family, and sports. We could add a little bit to that life, family, farms, and sports.
I'm all in. The 4, yeah.
The 4 what?
Faith, the three Fs. Faith, family, farm.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. We could go that way.
Not 4.
But I wonder what he's thinking. But I think we could have an episode, and I think you guys could just talk. Gibby and I would just do what you do, nothing.
Watch my equipment not work today,
Yeah.
apparently.
So
but again, back to what you said, Scrib. The Creasel one's going to be.
yeah, I'm excited.
Fired up.
I'm
Cannot
excited.
wait.
So, and that we'll have Parrots picks this week as well. But hey, get ready because when we're on next week, undefeated conference champs. I'm
Wow.
predicting it.
I
I'm
can't
predicting it. Not
right.
calling it.
I
I'm
hope
predicting
so.
it. All right, that's it for this week's The Scrib and Gab. I'm Scrib
And I'm Gib, and we got
Moose on the loose.